In the hallowed halls of justice, where integrity is paramount and the rule of law is upheld, few could ever have anticipated that a respected judge would find himself at the center of a tragedy so deeply disturbing it would send shockwaves through an entire community. On the fateful evening of August 3, 2023, in the upscale enclave of Anaheim Hills, California, Orange County Superior Court Judge Jeffery Ferguson became embroiled in a nightmare that would forever tarnish his once sterling reputation.
Sheryl Ferguson's life was taken from her by a man who had vast experience on guns, had owned guns for many years.
Very supportive of him, throughout his career, always there for him. He worked a lot and was very dedicated and committed to what he did. But she was just one of those wives that always stood behind him and supported him all the time.
It was a night like any other, or so it seemed. Within the walls of his elegant home, Judge Ferguson and his wife, Sheryl, sat down to unwind. Their conversation underscored by the low hum of a television in the background and the clink of ice in their glasses. Both had been consuming alcohol, a factor that would soon prove to be disastrously influential. As the evening progressed, a seemingly benign disagreement spiraled into an argument of escalating intensity. Eyewitnesses later recalled that, amid the growing tension, Sheryl issued a challenge in a moment of defiant emotion. She dared her husband to point a real gun at her. In that volatile, charged moment, something within Judge Ferguson snapped. Instead of de-escalating the situation, he reached for a loaded pistol, one he habitually carried in an ankle holster, a silent reminder of his personal affinity for firearms. With little time to think, and amid a haze of alcohol and fury, he discharged the weapon, fatally shooting Sheryl before the full gravity of his actions could register.
It got so bad, at one point, the defendant in anger made a fake gun motion as if he was shooting her.
Please subscribe to our channel and make comments about what you think of our videos. The immediate aftermath was a scene of utter chaos and horror. Their adult son, forced to witness this devastating act, was left traumatized by the sight of his mother's lifeless body. Within minutes, law enforcement arrived at the residence, only to uncover a tableau that seemed ripped from a crime thriller. Not only was the scene marred by personal tragedy, but authorities also discovered an extensive and chilling arsenal hidden within the home. In a startling revelation, investigators cataloged 47 guns along with over 26,000 rounds of ammunition, a staggering collection that added another layer of complexity to the case and raised serious questions about the nature of Ferguson's personal life. Judge Ferguson was swiftly taken into custody and charged with murder. Initially granted a release on $1 million bail, his freedom was short-lived. Reports soon indicated that he had violated the conditions of his release by consuming alcohol once again, prompting his rearrest and a subsequent increase in bail to $2 million. These rapid developments only intensified public scrutiny and speculation about what had driven a man in a position of such respect to commit such an unforgivable act. The courtroom soon became the arena for a dramatic legal battle that pitted two starkly contrasting narratives against one another. When the trial commenced in February 2025, prosecutors maintained that the shooting was a deliberate act, an intentional and premeditated response fueled by anger and the corrosive effects of alcohol.
Sister was a wonderful person, very caring, very selfless, and the family is absolutely in shock.
They argued that the evidence, including the meticulous organization of his firearms collection and the cold nature of his actions during the incident, pointed to a man who had chosen a fatal course of action. In stark contrast, Ferguson's defense team presented a narrative of tragic accident. They claimed that during the heat of the argument, a misstep occurred, a misfire, so to speak, causing the weapon to discharge inadvertently.
This was an unintentional, accidental shooting and not a crime.
Please subscribe to our channel and make comments about what you think of our videos. Throughout the proceedings, Judge Ferguson maintained his plea of not guilty, leaving jurors and observers to grapple with the dissonance between his public persona as a keeper of the law and the deeply troubled individual implicated in this personal catastrophe. The impact of the case extended far beyond the courtroom. The legal community, media outlets, and residents of Anaheim Hills and Orange County at large were left in a state of disbelief. How could someone entrusted with the authority to interpret and uphold the law succumb to such personal demons? As details emerged, the case ignited intense debates about the intersection of mental health, alcohol use, and access to firearms, even among those who are expected to embody restraint and judgment. Local news outlets chronicled the unfolding drama with a mix of somber analysis and investigative fervor, probing into the darker aspects of Ferguson's private life. Colleagues and acquaintances recalled a man who was methodical, precise, and even admirable in his professional capacity, but who, it now appeared, harbored hidden vulnerabilities that tragically manifested in one fateful, irreversible moment. As the trial continues to capture national attention, the legacy of Judge Jeffery Ferguson hangs in the balance. For many, this case serves as a stark reminder of the thin line between order and chaos, the delicate balance that can be so easily disrupted by personal turmoil, substance use, and unresolved emotional pain. It forces a painful examination of the responsibilities that come with positions of power and the unforeseen consequences when private demons are allowed to fester unchecked. In the end, the story of Judge Ferguson is not merely a narrative of legal battles and courtroom drama. It is a cautionary tale. A tale that challenges us to look deeper into the lives of those who wield authority, reminding us that beneath every public figure may lie a complex tapestry of struggles and vulnerabilities. The community, still reeling from the shock, now faces the daunting task of reconciling its image of a respected jurist with the grim reality of his actions, a legacy forever marred by a night when despair overwhelmed reason. Please subscribe to our channel and make comments about what you think of our videos.